Christian, I know with AudioMob, you're obviously very focused on enabling programmatic as it's such a sort of dominant transaction mechanism for buyers. How are you thinking about it in terms of it helping you to innovate and evolve?
Yeah, so to be honest, there's a lot of room for innovation because we're the first to do it. So just for the audience, so we're on the same page. I mean, if you're being blocked by, let's say, a video ad in a mobile, the research that we've done and the technology we're producing will enable a player to opt in to listen to an audio ad while they're playing the game instead of being blocked by that annoying video ad. So there are so many opportunities as to how we can innovate, and of course we've got great partners like Beeswax to help us accomplish this at scale. First one is, we're going to have to prepare for a post-cookie world. And in terms of how we pass GDPR compliant data to enhance targeting, this is very, very difficult in the audio space because the audio space is still aggregated around, the Spotifys and the SoundClouds and all of these big publishing houses with arguably, walled gardens in the context of data. But in terms of how AudioMob can integrate with games in order to get that data, even if there wasn't a cookie, for instance, even if targeting data is stripped back, there's very, very interesting things we can do with things like the mobile ID, the in-game app ID, in order to help contextualize and also, in some words, more precisely target these players. So it's really interesting there. The second thing is the non-interruptive ad format. So we do something called audio passback, which means that we have to understand what the audio state of a given game is, as well as the device. So that when a video ad, for instance, comes in, what happens right now is that the user could be listening to Spotify or something, and then the video ad comes in and it blocks out the user's Spotify track or it plays over it, the user exits the app, and then you've got a drop of retention and a really annoyed gamer. So what we can do is we can start passing back, what are the audio states of the phone? What's the volume level? Is the mute switch on? We can pass back all of these different data points so a advertiser can more effectively target a user and make sure that they know that the user's actually got their audio on and that they can hear it. Outside of that, there's obviously the partnership with Beeswax. Can't go into too much detail, but the amount of interesting R&D that we're doing to scale this ad format across the industry is absolutely fascinating. And the supply side partners that Beeswax can provide in this whole partnership will definitely enable us to do this rapidly. And the last thing is it's an unprecedented opportunity for advertising opportunities and advertising requests. So in the context of audio, you've got a long form format like music, for instance, and you might get an ad request pre-roll, mid-roll, end-roll. So it could be every couple of minutes, for instance. But with a game, there's always someone that's going to need a power-up or someone that's going to die in the game. There are going to be so many more ad requests from this game. And the way that the systems need to be built to compensate those ad requests for the audio ad industry, which is built on a completely different system, that in itself is a massively large opportunity. And those points are the way that we're leveraging Programmatic to make this happen.